Hello, family and friends. How are you? Once more, good morning. And how are you doing wherever you are? I welcome you to this live broadcast where I want to drop this quick one. And I hope you are doing well. Keep doing well, okay? Don't let anything bother you. Remember, your life is more important than your situation, than your need. Your life is always more important. You can live longer than you think, and you can live better than you think. So don't fear anything, but live your life, live humanly. I want to speak on fairness, not forgiveness. Religion gives us the forgiveness garbage. Forgiveness is garbage. Forgiveness emboldens your enemy. Forgiveness makes you weaker. Forgiveness makes you a moron to your enemies or to those that offended you. You know, when you forgive them because of your religious belief, they will continue doing that. Forgiveness is like, loving your enemies. Somebody that comes to kill you, you say, I can forgive you in the name of the Lord. I forgive you because God forgave me in Christ. That is stupidity. And you take the gun of the person after the person shot or shot all the bullet, then you give him more bullet to load his gun, and you say, I've forgiven you, and the person is still looking for next opportunity to shoot you and kill you. Remember, your enemies are always out to kill you. They are not there to favor you. No. Even if you're cajun, they beg for forgiveness, they will come again. Because you become like hinges, the door always come at you. So they know you don't have resistance. They know you are weak. They will ask you, please forgive me. Please forgive me. It's okay, I've forgiven you. And you keep suffering. It happens in relationship, it happens in business, and many people has been suffering the same fate since they were born. Yes, they will not pause and say, no, let me stop this. That's how forgiveness is. See, the religion created forgiveness to keep you in bondage. They created sin and forgiveness. They ask you to, that if you sin, there is forgiveness, right? But the same people tell you that God sent his son to die for your sin, and the son came to take away the sins of the world about 2,000 years ago. Yet the sins of the world keep increasing. The sins cannot be dealt with, and they ask you to pray. He said, when you pray, believe, not know, believe. God have heard you. That believe you are forgiven. When they do the altar call, and ask you to come and give your life to Jesus, what did they ask you? They say, repeat after me the sinner's prayers. He said, if you have said this prayer, believe you are forgiven. Believe you are a child of God. Believe you are born again. Now begin to go to any Bible-believing church. It was only Pentecostals and evangelicals that used to do that. But now all the Orthodox churches have joined them. Roman Catholic Church, Anglican, all of them do crusades. All of them do seminars. They do sinner's prayers. They invite you to be coming to their church and their program. Because that's the slavery camp, or the slave camp. Church is a slave camp. Religion is a slave camp where they want you to continue coming. And that's why they created forgiveness. They ask you to forgive your enemies. They ask you to forgive those who offended you. And they will keep offending you. Offense will never end so long there is forgiveness. If you want to end offense, begin to apply fairness. Begin to live fairly. Fairness is what you need, not forgiveness. And that fairness starts with you. You have to be fair to yourself. Do something you love. Do something that favors you. Eat something that your body like. Wear something you like. Be fair to yourself first. If you are not fair to yourself, how can you be fair to others? You have to be fair to yourself. Because when you are fair to yourself, you will be fair to others. You cannot hurt yourself, you won't hurt others. If there is no offense, there is no need for forgiveness. But when you are not living fairly, you will be offending yourself and offending others. You won't listen to yourself, you won't listen to others. Guess what? Then destruction will be coming your way. You'll be suffering unnecessarily. But when you are fair to yourself and you are fair to others, there's no need for offense. You will not go to do any bad thing to anybody. You will not plan any evil against anybody. Even if the evil thought comes, you suppress it because you are fair to yourself and to others. So fairness is what we need. As you can see, the God the religion gave to us is not fair. That God chose a nation they call Israel, and hate other nations and say that if you don't belong to this nation, you are doomed, you are pagan, or you are Gentile, you are not among the God's choosing. That God is unfair. That God is mean. That God is wicked, and that God is not worthy of your faith. That God is not worthy of your fear. That God is not worthy of your worship. God is not fair, and that's why you see people suffering, even among his own people or people that say they believe in that God. You see there is no fairness there. Where there is fairness, you see equality. There's no equality among God's people everywhere, but whether it's in Israel or in Christianity, in Islam, they don't have equality. They have inequality. That's why they still have the poor among them, why they have the rich among them, why they have the head and tails among them. No equality among them. And these people are the ones that are telling you they have a God that is not fair, and that God is foolish. You know, the Bible believers always quote Psalm chapter 14 verse 1 and Psalm 53 verse 1. Oh, the fool said in his heart, there is no God. But your God said the same thing. So God is a foolish God. That God is fool. God said there is no God beside him, the God of the Bible, in Isaiah chapter 45 verse 5. And when he said that in verse 7, he bragged. He said he's the one that creates evil. He's the one that make all this evil happen. For you to see that that God is not only foolish, that God is wicked. Any God that allow evil to happen is wicked. Prince asked me, so which God are we supposed to worship now? You're not supposed to worship. You are not. Even your Bible tell you that, Prince, if you have Bible. In the beginning, when God created man and put him in the garden, what did God ask him to do in the garden? To keep it, to dress and keep the garden, period, not to worship any God. They did not worship God in the beginning. Worship of God is concept just as man created God. So you were not created to worship. Why are you worshiping? You are God. God don't worship God. God is idol. But the idol you can see is better than the God you cannot see. The idol you can see is better than the invisible God in heaven. Idols can help you. You know what? Idols can help you, of course. When there is no wood in your house, that idol was made by wood, and there's scarcity of wood. You use that idol to cook. It can help you. At least you can see it. But God, you cannot see. God, the invisible Almighty God, is as useless can be. It cannot help you in your time of need. It cannot, and it's not fair. We're supposed to be fair to ourselves and to others, and that's what we are lacking among ourselves. Fairness. When you apply fairness, religious people will hate you. For example, I make a post. I devoted my time to search out some matters and make that post. Some of them long, some of them short, or some of them I copied from somebody and share with us. Then you see a religious person come and say, nonsense, you know, antichrist, you know, we not even trying to get what I said, but because they come with that preoccupied mind, they begin to say, why, you know, you are this, you are that. They are fools. That person is not fair to himself, not to me. And because I believe in fairness, I stand with fairness. The way you come to me is the way I will react. That's the way I will come to you. If you come attacking me, I will come attacking you. That's fairness. And when you know I can attack you, that's why some of them now shut up. Because they see that before they even say 2, I already say 10. I respond to them. They say, always, I respond. Of course, you want me to be quiet? Your pastor cannot respond. Your bishop cannot respond. You're supposed to be grateful that I respond. So these religious people, they lack fairness, just as their God lack fairness. Their God is partial God. Yes, you don't need to worship. As Anita said, why do you need to worship any God? No. If you must worship any, let all the gods, let us do an election and come up with one. And that's good, of course, because as Dr. Ben said, religion is deification of a culture. Like people can decide, okay, tree is our God. It will work for them. People can decide that chair is their God. It will work for them. Anything you believe works for you. Ada Hossa used to say that. He was Archbishop Idahosa, a Christian, a fire-burning Pentecostal. He said, anything you believe will work for you. That's why you see the host, he go to every religion. He did not really maybe pocket himself in Christianity. He was going to, in only Pentecostal denomination, White Garment Church, everywhere. You see the host, because they know religion is just a belief. It's a myth. Religion is not real, and the wise use it to make money. But the nice, wise people don't use it to make any money, because when you are making money out of it, you are deceiving people. So you are making people to believe something exists when you know it does not exist. And that's why you see the host, and he can be bold. He can tell you he walk on water, and they believe. They believe his testimony, whatever. I remember one time we were in the ministers' conference. The host was ministering. I always sit close to the altar, right? So he was giving testimony about how they went where some people were electrocuted in his crusade ground. He said he prayed, those people who electrocuted came back to life. Oh, so when he was, when he was sharing that, I was not there, but I echoed. You know how we echoed in Pentecostal church? I said, I went. I was repeating what he said. Like he said, David went after Goliath. So he said he went. So I said, I went. He said, that's a witness. That person went with us. But I wasn't there. And because I said that, some people in the crowd will think, oh yeah, it happened. But people electrocuted on a crusade ground, if the host prayed or the host do anything, they came back to life. Are you kidding me? You know what it means for somebody to be electrocuted, dead? But that's how we believers can believe anything. Believing or faith makes you blind. You can believe anything. Blind person, when you tell the blind person, hey, the cup before you is red, you say whether it's black or you don't care, you say, okay, I believe you, because they can see the cup. Just as people believe in God, that God is this, God is that, without seeing the God, they just believe. Blind faith. As I said yesterday, blind faith, foreign religion with blind faith is causing Africans their restoration and their recovery. The reason why Africans have not restored their glorious power and recovered their glorious heritage is because of foreign religion with blind faith. They want them to just believe. Believe this God. Believe that God you cannot see. They tell you there's one supreme being in the sky. Oh, he can do all things. Do what? God cannot do anything. God cannot do anything for you, for your family. And that's why those who believe in that God will hate you when you tell them the truth, because you are trying to destroy their illusion. You are trying to destroy their faith. They don't know that faith is fake. Faith is not real. Knowledge is real. Facts are real. You can see them. I can stand up. I will not tell you I'm standing up now. If I tell you I'm standing up now, you believe me, you are a believer. But you tell me you want to see my leg if I'm standing up, then I will stand up. You see, I lied to you that I was standing up. Then you proved that I was not standing up, I was sitting. But believers just believe blindly what they read in a book, what they tell them God said, not what they have proved. Chiviken said, even when you will consciously come up to a level, you will come to an undoubtable summary that the concept of one God is, it's nonsense. Concept of one God is nonsense. There's no one God. There are gods and goddesses, and we are that gods and goddesses. Our ancestors weren't worshiping gods and goddesses they did not know. They were worshiping gods and goddesses they know, which were their parents, their parents, their ancestors. Your ancestors are gods and goddesses, just as you are gods and goddesses. Like begets like. It is fact. Like begets like. Human being cannot give birth to goat. Goat cannot give birth to human being. No matter, even if you have sex with goat, it will still give birth to goat. Even if a human being have sex with goat, it will still have. How I wish I will see a woman impregnated by a he-goat. So let me see if she will give birth to goat or to human being. I want to know. I want to see that fact. So my people, what I'm saying is this: we have to be fair to ourselves. Be fair to yourself. Verify everything you have been believing. It's time you begin to prove your faith. Demonstrate that power of God. If you believe your God can do all things, then why is anyone sick in your family? Why is anyone still struggling in your family? Let your God solve that family problem. Let your God unite your problem again. Every year your family is having meeting, trashing the problem of division, problem of hate, problem of backwardness. Yet all of them they will not come to agree that, listen, this thing is not working. But you keep believing. My people calling me atheist, my people calling me demonic, my people calling me satanic. They are stupid. Why are you calling me? Whatever you call me, you are calling yourself. Because we are human beings, we are one blood. You cannot be different from me. Faith is what makes you think you are different from me. Faith is what makes you think you are better than me. Faith is what religion bring that faith. They bring that hierarchy. They bring that division. They bring that inequality. There is no fairness in religion. There's no fairness in politics. There's no fairness in everything that is against nature. But when it comes to nature, there is fairness. Mind your own business. Mind your own game. Mind your own place. You don't force people to believe what you believe. You don't force people to do what you do. Everybody are experts in their own field. You're supposed to be minding yourself, minding your business. That's how they came against our ancestors. Our ancestors were minding their business. They have no need of anything. They don't need to go to a stand-up world to get anything. They were living in their own world until those evil enemies came, or evil neighbors came and said, no, we have to invade these people, destroy them, and they take what belongs to them. That thing that made them to ignore us, that thing that made them not to come to do business with us, but we always coming to them. We were coming to destroy them and take them. That's what happened to us. That's what happened to our ancestors. And we still want to let it continue. They don't want us to be fair anymore, because if we are fair, we begin to fight to get back what belongs to us. They don't want us to treat them the way they treated us. They ask us to leave vengeance for God. They ask us to let God fight our battles. Have you seen God fight for the nation of Israel today? No. Have you seen God fight for the nation America today? No. They have their nuclear weapons. They have their weapons. They are fighting for themselves. No, God is fighting your battle. If you have any battle, whether you call it spiritual or psychological or physical, you are the one that will fight that battle. No, God is fighting your battle. Faith blinds you to believe God is fighting your battle, while your enemies are taking your resources and enjoying them. It's time you wake up, Africans, and begin to be fair to yourself and be fair to your neighbors. That's the only way we can live great life again. Thank you for listening, and thank you for spreading the knowledge. Peace.